like a worm in the storm. A hungry hunger inside of me. I can't be reborn. I'm a monster, spreading hate, stealing time. I'm a monster, laying base when it's cloudy. Oh, pilgrim inside of me. Tell me, what's my remedy? I'm a fraud, call me lion. A true psychopath, don't love me. When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah, that's me.
Hey, hello, Twitch, hello, Internet. My name is not the legendary Vermin, and this is Void. This is the world within you. I wrote this down. The bass boosted spray paint splatted actual play of Void Heart Symphony. I think that's most of the things that our maestro normally says. Like I said, I am not Vermin. I am not the most legendary Vermin. I am Tate Washburn, and today we are actually playing a few rounds of. So I'm sorry, did you say Street Magic in the setting of our game? I would love for the other two of my. I'm going to say co-hosts because we're not. We're all part of the cast. My co-hosts to introduce themselves.
Can I be like Teller and just be the co-host who doesn't say anything?
After you introduce yourself, no,
I'll
still
just
because that's
communicate
how
via
the game
hand
works.
gestures the whole time.
That sounds like a radio show. But you don't
Starting
talk.
now.
Nope. Introduce yourself. You started
Damn
talking.
it.
Introduce yourself first. I've decided.
Fine. Hey, I'm Wayne the Dan. I guess I'm not playing Scott Reiser, our musician friend, tonight. Instead, I'm just a regular guy helping build the foundations of Etteridge City in the system known as, I'm sorry, did you say Street Magic? Which I'm saying again because it's fun to say.
It's pretty fun to say. Well, I guess that leaves me. Hi, I'm Michelle. I am not playing Sushi our cat. I am playing me, who is also going to be the person who's starting off this game. So
sucks to be you.
Yes, because I have not played it before, and
yeah, but it's okay.
Dan is
We're gonna
Dan.
have a lot of fun. Yeah.
I am me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might say that I am all of me.
All right. To start us off, let's we'll give us a quick recap of the last. I can definitely speak. I can speak English. Anyways,
How does Vermin make it look so easy?
I don't know.
All the
She
time.
just does. It's amazing. But we're going to give a quick recap of what we did last time. So when playing, I'm sorry, did you say Street Magic? We first start off by a step. Yes, I did. Did I say that correctly?
You did. Just
Eventually.
the implied fumble was pretty good.
Okay, cool. But anyways, we're gonna start off with the setting of the city adjectives. So the last time that we started, we decided that the city, Etteridge City, had 3 adjectives going for it. It is brawling. It is melodious, both literally and figuratively, and it's hungry. Now, in the course of a round of our of establishing the city, we created 3 neighborhoods. We got the Parkside Boulevard, sleepy, rundown, new immigrant, old buildings. It's on the cusp of change. We've got Main Street. It's it's like the small businesses, local businesses, commercial area, busy, pretty. It feels like a babbling brook. And we have the barrel, also called the bottom of the barrel, but barrel for short. It's volatile, full of empty spaces, warehouses, but it's characterized by things like its true name, characterized by hidden treasures, lonely vistas, and the smell of asphalt. Uh, while we were playing, we also created a single landmark, the Garden Theater Company, which exists on Main Street. It's got some nostalgic feels, both global and local, and it's one of the locales. And finally, we ended off with hosting an event. Our lovely the Leona Maple created an event in the Parkside Boulevard, titled "Join the Power of R," where we hosted a Parkside Boulevard block party, made out of nothing. Just sort of, hey, let's do something fun. Let's celebrate. Let's have some, bring some happiness to this place, and various things happen, some consequences, some good things, some bad things, but things came through. Now, as the starter for a new round of, I'm sorry, did you say street magic? I get to do something interesting, which is called declaring the compass. So, pick an aspect of the city to explore and navigate. And you know what? I think today I'd like to start off this round by exploring the music theme. So, we're going to, the music scene, not theme. I'm sorry. I can definitely pronounce things correctly. It's all good. Everything is fine. So, with a bit of a draw, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of a circle and say, hey, today's round is going to start off with... Oh, yep. Here's the fun part where I try to write something. Big C. Oh, okay. It's all good. Thank you. C, and we are exploring... Yeah. C,
the
not
letter
city.
of the day.
Tis C. And we are exploring the
It's a
music
pirate's
scene.
favorite letter.
Ooh, maybe that text is a little bit big. It's all good. And to do that, we're going to start off with creating a new landmark. Let's call it Vinyl Hits Station. It's a large tower, I'd say. In the middle of the barrel. And let's see, what vibes do we have going on here? You know, I think it's the kind of place where at night you can see from the rooftops of the warehouses that sort of, red blinking light of the signal tower, radio tower going off.
Mm-hmm. And it's in
Yeah.
the barrel.
Yeah,
Or
in
just
the
asking.
barrel.
Yeah. Okay.
Just sort of like like that light in the middle of just like a whole I guess, like a whole block chunk of neighborhood that's pretty dark, right?
Hmm.
What else? What else? Any thoughts from you guys? I'm thinking. Let's see. This is pretty hard. Let's see. This is
Urban planning usually is.
yeah. Well, what can you do, right?
Sim City made it seem so easy.
Let's see. I think the kind of vibe it gives is it kind of it. I think maybe it does actually kind of fit in with a sort of fits in with the
Mm,
vibe of the barrel in that, like, there's plenty of warehouses in the barrel that have, artists just sort of like squatting in, um exploring. There's plenty of hidden treasures, and I think here it's got its own station where it plays whatever the heck it feels like and does not
mhm.
give a shit.
A lot of local artists, you think?
Yeah.
And that way, maybe that's the treasure that you find at the radio station. It's not like it's finding physical treasures there. It's the artists, those minor artists you wouldn't hear from otherwise.
I think it's also got like this bit of a almost like this music, the current, background music that's playing, this very like chill low jazz kind of vibe, and it's just inside the walls as it's playing.
Lo-fi jazz to study and relax to, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like lo-fi jazz vibes in the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, while we're on this topic, do you guys have any more questions you wanna throw at me about Vinyl Hit Station?
Do they ever get in trouble with the FCC or
Uh,
whatever the governing body is for what you can and can't play on the radio?
you know what? They definitely have. I'm sure there's definitely been a few times where they've gotten into trouble for playing something like either like incredibly explicit or something that for whatever reason the government just doesn't like the local city government just does not want on the air.
Hmm. I have to imagine at least a few times they're like, "Oh yeah, we have to do the hourly top of the hour thing where we talk about like where we say our name and all that." They'll forget that all the time, I'm sure. That's like a weird regulation that the FCC will get mad at you about. Uh, Gotta wonder what uh, what the true name should be.
If I can just expand this a little bit, it's kind of small. Or decrease the size of the text. We'll do that for now. Decrease the size of the text while I hopefully it's not too small for folks to read, but we'll just make it a giant wall of text. My apologies to folks on stream. But for true name. Something that goes at its own pace, I think, maybe. Like what feeling about the vibes.
Hmm.
Laissez faire? Does it have to be one word?
Doesn't
Huh. Casually hidden gems. I almost want to look up barrel terminology and find something related to the neighborhood it's in.
fair enough.
A cask of culture?
Okay.
Maybe a casual star?
I like a casual star. Or if this tickles your fancy in like alcohol making, when you put something in a barrel, there's the devil's share, which is the amount that's like soaked into the wood, but there's the angel's share, which is the amount that is evaporated off and is like ethereal.
Oh.
So it could be something like the angel's share is like this poetic name of that ethereal thing that's up in the air.
Yeah. Angel share. Casual angel share. I kind of really like angel share, actually.
Mm.
I can definitely type without having a caps lock on.
But do you want to?
Angel share, casual star. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can't move some of these text around, fit everything in. All right. So we've established a landmark. Anyone feel like taking the next?
It says clockwise. I'd be fine taking next just based on my screen, but actually I do not have stream open, so I don't know if I'm the next clockwise.
You are in fact next clockwise.
Yeah, so I'd say, and you guys who were here last time will have to give me the vibe that Main Street isn't like a place where there'd be music clubs, and I think that's an interesting neighborhood to have in the city, sort of like the Miracle Mile in Chicago, where it's just a whole bunch of clubs on the same sort of block of various types and styles, so you can kind of just go like club hopping in a night pretty easily. If that vibes with everyone, I just gotta.
That makes sense. Main Street's sort of like, small local business. It makes sense to have a.
No, I didn't. Can I?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, I'll have to get rid of that. But I'll start writing the card in a second. No, it did it again. All right.
Is this one better for you?
Well, I'm doing a neighborhood.
Oh, you're doing a
Ah.
neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah, this
cool.
is a block of this kind of buildings is the
Ooh.
vibe.
I like it. I like it.
It's the kind of place that grows a music scene, and I'm just trying to think of. Gonna pump that up to an 11. Nope, that's the wrong button. Anyways, so I'm just trying to think of a good name for that sort of. You know what? You could maybe call it the measure. Like a block of musical notes.
And then you put another one next to it with the same name, and they can be measure by measure.
No, that would be a club called Measure in the Measure neighborhood. And that'd be called Measure by Measure. No, all right. So then the question becomes, sorry, I have not played this game, so now I'm trying to neighborhood, a title, a reputation. So yeah, that is the reputation. Is this is the place where if you are trying to perform in the city, whatever it is, this is the block you live on. Like not literally, I don't think there's a lot of housing here, but you spend all your time here. It's where gigs happen. It's where stars are born. I'll just That's very small. All right.
Yeah.
Let's bump that up a little. Or not.
I guess I've got a question for you. What what do the people in the measure think about this place? How do they
Hmm.
like it? How do they feel?
I think that this is probably not too far from Main Street, like, because this is all businesses still.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think that at first, like, as this is starting to grow into a place for clubs, probably a lot of businesses around don't like the businesses that have crowded in on them. But I think that it's pretty quickly this is what happens. Like, this was not originally a place with a lot of businesses that were doing well, so they kind of got taken over as new clubs pretty easily. But yeah, it wasn't well liked, but I don't think there's a lot of residents here. It's the other business owners. What?
So that's just like, sort of like, I guess, the old residents. What
Hmm.
about like other neighborhoods? Like, and yeah, I know you said it's like, by Main Street, but like, what do you think? What about the folks, over in the Barrel, or maybe Parkside Boulevard? What do you think?
I don't know about the Barrel. You guys will have to give me some vibes in that, because it doesn't seem like, again, like a lot of people stay there. I'd imagine for most of the people who do live in the Barrel, either that's where they like work and live, in which case probably don't have a different opinion, but the people who live there because they don't have anywhere else to live would probably just think of it as a place that, a lot of people are there after dark, and so don't, like, you can't spend money there unless you have it to spend, etc. So I think the people in Parkside Boulevard, though, if it's these sort of neighborhoods where there's
Hmm.
like a lot of people living in, they probably don't like it. Like, this is definitely it's a place of clubs and new music, and drug, sex, and rock and roll is probably my impression. The teens probably really think it's cool, but the adults living there, mm-mm. Yeah. All right, no, I'm gonna write that down. What other questions do I have? I feel like I've maybe gone over the reputation a bit. Uh, the thing
That's
that
great.
I, Mhm.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you're good with the reputation, unless there's more you'd like to explore.
I think the only other part would be like, is this just every kind of music? I don't think I know what established time period we're in, so
It's
I don't
whatever
know if
you
they're
want.
playing disco or we're playing something more
We're talking
modern.
about the history of the city, so it's up to you.
Hmm. Then I think that this very much gets established in a sort of 70s disco era is when this really came around. So no, stop that.
Yeah, all right. Then
And
the last thing you gotta do, figure out a
he
true
has
name.
true name. I don't know if it's too on the nose to call it something like Wonderland, but it's the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know about y'all.
Well, you've got a couple of adjectives you can use, so sure,
Um,
Wonderland works.
where
Got a couple of words.
no,
Doesn't have to
was
be
there
an
like a
actual
list?
sentence or a phrase that actually
Yeah.
makes sense.
I'm sorry. You said I have a couple. Is there a list I don't see in the book?
Oh, sorry. I'm saying you don't.
Oh, I
You've got
should.
plenty of words that you can use, right? So like,
Okay.
you,
Say
you don't have to just give it a one word
let's
name.
call it
It's like,
a
yeah, it's
dark
like it's like two or
Wonderland.
three descriptive images, right? So they don't have to be like, you don't have to pick like three words. You can say like, hey, like, So Wonderland maybe is one of them.
So yeah, I'm thinking it's sort of like a dark wonderland if it's still like the cutthroat music scene, but also it's I think the start of a journey would be maybe the other phrase. If this is where you start like your local music career before you make it big, people get discovered here. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
All right. And Dan.
Yes.
Now you get to play.
Eh.
If I must. Well, actually, the discussion about Vinyl Hit Station gave me an idea because
Oh.
Oh, I think
Uh-oh.
you froze.
I think we have a frozen Dan. Uh-oh. I will put a Dan, you froze. Oh, okay. Thank you.
No, again, it just
Oh,
whoops.
uh, there goes the spinny circles of doom. Squares. Spinny squares.
Well, if we have a stream manager listening, perhaps we go to a quick break.
hey, sorry about that. Even my computer is
Hey,
having
Twitch.
concerns about this.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll totally handle it, and it'll be fine and perfect. Anyways, Dan, you were saying something about the vinyl hit station.
Well, I did because the conversation that you were having gave me a great idea for a landmark, which I did not have previously because I'm not creative. But you kind of settled into where the main line of the main line of nightlife is in Etteridge City with the measure. But every neighborhood is going to have at least one local watering hole or local bar. And so I think that somewhere along the line, after Parkside Boulevard was established as the kind of place that it is, some enterprising residents decided, you know what this neighborhood needs, like a place where people can come and grab a drink with their friends and with their neighbors. So they established the Devil Share as Parkside Boulevard's first real local bar, watering hole type spot. And it's an immigrant community, so there's a lot of different cultures. So they have plenty of like alcoholic and non-alcoholic offerings. They started to offer food since there's so many different people in the area with knowledge of different cuisines, and it became kind of the first real place that people could go to, like, the adult members of the community could go to be amongst the rest of their community. And so it kind of over I guess a relatively short span of time, since I think we're still like in the early days of the city, kind of established itself as one of the main like community gathering spots. So if you needed to have like an event or like a community meeting of some kind, you could have it at the Devil Share.
Okay, well, I'll start putting the card together so you can keep brainstorming. But yeah, so the Devil's Share. The questions I have are mostly. It's really like a bar. It feels like how do everyone feel about it being a bar and not like a restaurant or something?
It's like a bar and grill, like.
Okay.
Like there's plenty like it in like there's a place in Philly that I used to really like called the Khyber Pass, which is a bar, but like they serve like really good barbecue and shit there.
Okay.
And so it's that kind of deal where it's like they have, I mean, I guess you could call it a pub, but like the food is not necessarily like pub food. It's more like different, like it's not the kind of cuisine you associate with pub food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess then that's a greater question. Is like child friendly, not child friendly in the day?
I mean, you can bring children there, but they're not the target audience. Like I said, there's plenty of like
Fair.
non-alcoholic drinks or like offerings.
So I've got a question for you, like address wise. Where is this in like, Parkside Boulevard? Is this someplace that's like, smack dab in the middle of like all those apartment buildings? Is it a little bit off to the edge? Right? Is this like on like a side, like like a nice little like shaded side street, like hole in the wall kind of deal? Like, well, maybe it's like at
It's
the top of a skyrise?
not quite a skyrise. I figure even like small residential neighborhoods have some area that's like the equivalent of the downtown, even for like tiny neighborhoods. So
Mm-hmm.
like Parkside Boulevard's equivalent of downtown area is where the Devil Share is going to be opened up.
Considering it's apartments, I'm almost imagining like it could have been a bodega that's been repurposed, or it's like nigh on close to that. Like there's housing above this thing, kind of.
Hmm. All right, that works for me.
We'll say the corner of the downtown seems wrong, considering that'd be a whole other area. But I get what you mean, like the sort of
Yeah.
place where you like get groceries real quick or whatever.
Yeah, like even suburbs have like a downtown area. Like
Or like maybe like the edge of a block or something?
yeah, like you like the place where like you'd find the local, yeah, like Tate said, like the local store, or like if there's a there's like a single theater, like cinema, or like a local movie theater or something
Yeah.
like that.
Or like where like the local mom and pop shop is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the corner across from the grocery store, I think is maybe the best way to say that I can think of. I don't know about you.
Hmm.
All right. What kind of? I guess its reputation is maybe already explained, but that would be the next point. Is there any reputation outside of this?
I mean, like obviously when you have so many different like types of people, like when you have so many people from so many different cultures, like not everyone's going to be on board with a bar no matter how accessible it is. Like some people are going to think it's like a sign of the decaying moral values of our time, but I think as time goes on and uh like and as the neighborhood like grows even ever so slightly, there's going to be like more people who
Mm-hmm.
just see it as like something that's been there rather than some
Yeah,
new and threatening thing.
a local staple, let's say.
Little staple works.
Makes this what makes this place irreplaceable to the neighborhood?
I mean, aside from being like the first of its kind, it's locally owned, so like in a neighborhood like this, most people probably know the guy who owns it, and probably most of the people who work there too. So it's not a point of pride, but it's something that like that neighborhood can say is its own.
Mm-hmm. I dig it. Uh, true names then. Are we?
Hmm.
I feel like the local watering hole is a pretty good true name for this, though.
I'm fine with
But
that. It's less work for me.
yeah, it is more specific than true name for a neighborhood. So anything, any thoughts on like tactilely, like touch, smell, taste? It is the local watering hole, so there's that. But like,
I mean, everything's wood.
mm,
That doesn't have to be part of the true name, but like I imagine there's a lot of like, the bar is wood, the tables are wood, floors are wood. It's an old bar. Like they're
Yeah,
wood.
does it feel homey or
homey,
something?
comfortable, even.
Homey's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cozy.
Is it Z-Y, Z-E-Y? I don't know how to spell. I don't know why you let me do this.
Cozy.
It's just Y. All right.
Yes. 4 letters. Cozy is a 4-letter word.
It's my favorite one. I quite like 4-letter words. I'm a connoisseur of them. That one's one of my
Mhm.
favorite. Mm.
Despite there
All right.
being no 4-letter words in that sentence, I don't think.
Nice.
Oh, wait, no. Like is a 4-letter word.
Like
Damn.
is in fact a 4-letter word.
Pedestrian one. Psh, I should have done better. Anyways.
Yeah.
All
Fuck, man. What's the issue?
Ah,
right. All right, then I guess that
Oh,
means
wait. Are we
we've
not
got
supposed to
our.
swear? There was something about that at bite marks, I think.
Oops. No, we are at a no swearing table for tonight.
No.
Just for tonight. Just for you.
No swearing.
Meh.
Boo. Language. Anyways.
All right.
For
Is there anything
stream,
else
the
that you'd like to
voice
talk
of the goddess, aka Spree, decided
Yeah.
to swear at a stream now. Anyways.
about? Fair enough.
Shush.
That's fair.
Shush, intrusive voice, Spree.
That is a fair statement. But yeah, so I guess with the establishment of our final part of the city for this round, it's the fun part where we get to host an event. So I get the fun choice of hosting an event that is related to the compass set at the beginning of the round. So I think what I'd like to do is say that and it's gotta be connected to a neighborhood, landmark, or resident. It does not necessarily
And the
have to.
compass.
Yeah, and I think what happens is on Main Street they actually end up hosting a small music festival.
Hmm.
Ostensibly for the for local artists, but you know they bring in a couple of other folks. So you know it's just uh it's a festival open to the community,
Mm-hmm.
and all local businesses are welcomed to participate. Welcome to participate.
Okay. Okay. And then I believe I'll go around and do a voice of the city.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You can ask me a question, state an opinion, or sorry, a rhetorical question, state an opinion, show a consequence.
Hmm. Trying to decide what the more interesting consequence is here, but I think definitely the clubs of the measure are going to be there. Like they're going to try and come out in force of like, no, we're the music scene. And I don't know if it's more interesting if they like are brought in and accepted by the city, or if they are kind of like protest is too strong of a word, but people actually didn't want them to show up. I think that they probably did though. Like I'm just spitballing. Yeah, I think that they actually are almost like their reputation is possibly laundered a bit by this. Like they're seen as more part of the community and more important to the city because they showed up.
So as a consequence,
Hmm.
we're saying the measure, the clubs of the measure,
Yeah.
the clubs of the measure start feeling more like they're a part of the community, or like
I think it's the
actually.
reverse. Other people in the community start thinking more highly of
Ah,
the measure as a like neighborhood, a place where like music is legitimately found.
okay. More highly
Remember the
of So like they get more street cred as a place to
Yeah,
for music.
they look more legitimate and less like a bunch of new young punks.
Cool.
Hmm.
Guess that
And
brings
now
it up
you
to
do one of
Dan.
those.
So, what do we do? What do I do here exactly?
All right. So once the compass has the event has been created, you act as the voice of the city. So you can basically ask a rhetorical question about like the origins, implications, repercussions. You can state an opinion, so one or two sentences of some members of the community hold towards the event, or show a consequence. Sentence or two. How do people in the city react to the event?
Hmm.
You could be a specific resident or like abstractly about the community, which Tate did in abstract.
Yeah. I think that the owners and staff of the Devil's Share, seeing the pushback that city residents had to the performers from the Measure performing at the music festival, kind of sympathized with their situation a bit, given that they would have also gotten some pushback for their business, and so not necessarily like an alliance was formed, but
Yeah.
They maybe they approach the performers and maybe start like a professional relationship, maybe, or like offer the bar for like open as like maybe it gives them the idea to start doing like open mic or like other performance type events at the bar. And so the Devil Share becomes more of a starts to become its own little start branching out into a performance
Yeah.
venue.
Maybe they're sort of seen now as part of sort of the circuit involved with the Measure, the sort of same way that like there's Broadway and off Broadway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as such, more performers start coming into Parkside Boulevard.
All right. Yeah. So next up, if there's any changes to the to landmarks or the city, then we can go ahead and add those in. Do you think that this is changing any sort of like reputation for like the neighborhood, for any of the neighborhoods, or altering like any card's true name or title?
Hmm. I don't think so. I mean, I did update the descriptions as those consequences happened,
Okay.
but I feel like at least the true name for like the Measure, I wouldn't think would change from that.
Yeah. You think any changes to the Devil Share?
I think it starts to become more of an artistic outlet for maybe anyone like in Parkside Boulevard who wants like a low stakes way to like experiment with a more artistic side, poetry or music or interpretive
Oh,
dance.
so maybe remove cozy and put in creative instead.
Maybe. I see you're way ahead of me on that.
It was like a creative entry, maybe.
Yeah. Or like creative outlet or something like
Yeah,
that.
or like
Creative
maybe
outlet, I think.
creative outlet, creative doorway. It's like an open door.
Sure.
Like love, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Or to the castle.
All right. Finally, I guess we're gonna go ahead and complete this event. So now I get to take on a voice of the city with the last word on the event. And we're gonna have a second perspective, something that complicates things, or maybe something that yeah. So I think we're gonna have I think one of the things that happens as a consequence of the music festival is hmm, hmm. How to complicate things. Oof, this is hard. Um,
I mean, I'll give a suggestion. I
How,
don't know,
how
like,
can she
sure.
cause problems on purpose?
if you have a suggestion, I was thinking of complicating things for our vinyl hit station. But what are your thoughts, Tate?
Oh, I thought you just add the flip side is just like a. I'm like, well, what if it gets the attention of some more powerful people in the music industry, and now there's like some corporate shenanigans going on, like it stops being local
Hmm.
because of it.
Hmm. It's like, huh? Uh, I like that. Uh, maybe you'll do a combination of both.
Yeah, you
So,
can also just go with your thing. I just was a suggestion. Don't worry about it.
yeah, no, I do like it. It's like, uh, Vinyl Hit Station has some really cool tracks. Have you thought about signing on with a
A
bigger
record label.
sponsor?
Hmm.
The podcasting networks of the day.
Mm.
That's just talk radio at that point.
But would it be like syndication for the station? Or- I was going to
Yeah,
type that
yeah.
in chat, but since we're on the subject, like,
Signing on with bigger sponsors that can get you more what do they call it? That thing
Exposure?
they do, they're like where like it's like artists uh like sort of like uh do things for like free for
endorsements,
not
sponsorships.
not sponsorships. It's like sort of like the where they'll do something to like put themselves out there, but
Yeah,
like
they'll do it for
Exposure?
exposure.
yeah, exposure. There we go.
Oh, I need to project more. Somehow I am not loud enough. That's
How
outrageous.
am I getting heard more than you?
It's a magical game. We're in
This is a
reverting
magical
Yeah.
spots.
game.
Uh,
A street
yeah.
magical game, you might say.
All right. Well, round is finished.
I'm
So
sorry. Did you say? I just. Uh,
yeah, how are we feeling? Do we feel like taking a quick rest stop?
Works for me. I could use some water.
yeah.
All right,
Quick 5 minutes.
then Spree, take us out on a break. We're gonna take a quick rest stop,
Oh,
folks.
goddess
Please,
spree
yeah,
of the stream.
hydrate, get some
Or
snacks.
dehydrate. She's here.
Hey Twitch, how's it going? We are back for our second round of. I'm sorry. Did you say street magic? As we are
I did,
playing
in
in
fact.
the. Oh well, turns out it was street magic. No, and this is a sort of off the record sidetrack of our the World Within You Void Heart Symphony actual play game. As I said
Because
before,
if
I
you
am
can
not
count on
Vermin
us for anything, it's to get sidetracked.
every time. But look, I think it's one of our more endearing qualities, personally. And then for this round, I am setting the compass. And for the compass, I was going to just write a phrase, but it's a little bit of a larger concept. Ravenous for success is the phrase, or the dangers of growing too quickly or too well. Uh, I think that's just where that thought ends. And yeah, I think that there's going to be we're going to do a person just because we haven't done that yet. And I will do nothing if not make a resident and do something that no one else has done yet. Uh, what color do we want to pick for this?
Whatever you'd like. You just need to make sure that
We
they're put
gonna
inside a landmark. So
Yeah. We have orange. We have brown.
We've got orange. We've already got brown. And we got green and fuchsia, magenta, or something. I don't
Too
actually
bright
know.
red.
Ooh, I like.
And yeah, I think there is a new DJ for Vinyl Hit Station. Like they originally start on like the bad hours that nobody does at like 2 in the morning. Gotta make sure I have the right size here. I just need a good name. This is
Huh? Oh, I'm sounding like that's perfect size for the matches.
yeah.
I'll be.
I need to come up with a name for this person though.
Well, it's
Uh,
a title, so whatever the common name is that everyone knows them by.
you know, I think if this is a title and the thing that he's known by first is actually his DJ handle, which because he starts on like the late night bad hours, I think I'm just gonna call him DJ Midnight.
Oh,
Uh,
You don't want to call him Nicky O?
nope, he's not Nicky Hill. uh, all right, now what are the things that I answer for about him before I
you need the
do
title
a
and
scene?
the pronouns.
I've said him, but I'm gonna change my mind here, and I'm gonna say yeah, she, her, yeah. Writes her own like it is very disco music still at this time. I think this is maybe just a bit after this music festival. So it's in just after a sort of disco era. There's a lot of backtracks that play at clubs for other musicians that DJ Midnight has made. And I'm losing my place. Yeah, just describe them at the table. I think the notable thing about her is seems to always have like the newest scoop on larger music news, and it's something that like no one's giving her these resources. She's already got it. And is like keeping her sources secret, but is bringing something like more professional, I guess, to the station that like it hasn't had because it's been so underground. Uh, and I think part of it is it's getting her a lot of popularity because it's bringing like people that don't normally listen to uh, this station from this tower. The Vinyl Hills hits has always been like indie, I guess would be the term we'd use for it now, and it's similar to what started with the music festival. It's getting a lot of attention from sponsors and people like that. And the little vignette I would like to do. All right, what if it's actually like her show and she's having people call in with questions, and I'll do her, and you guys can do some of the questions. It's actually probably some chill music because it's late at night.
Well, we got that covered then.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go with the vibe that the soundscape is provided, and it's like, well, good night or good morning, whichever one it is for you. This is DJ Midnight starting off at the top of the hour with our questions hour. I just got in. I haven't had time to put my notes together, so I'm just here with an Ask Me Anything. First caller, and your papers shuffling in the background while this is happening.
You hear a bit of a ring as the probably the old landline phone maybe connects, and Hey, DJ Midnight. How do you get your hair to look so? Or sorry, how do you get your
So to say, there's no camera here.
This
Yeah,
is
you
a
get
radio
there's no yeah, I was gonna
program
say there's
for those
literally
watching
no
at home.
there's
If you
literally
want to
no
roll with that, I will roll with that like I was a question on the
You
show.
know
But I
what?
feel like you
You
didn't.
know what?
I could
we're
see
just gonna roll
someone
with it.
calling into a radio show and asking that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're literally
Someone
just gonna
doing
ask,
bits.
how do you get your hair to always look so great? I mean, like,
Uh, no, there's a
yeah.
ha, like an out loud laugh. But if this person wouldn't stop, then you can keep saying that. He's like, well, just paper shuffling. He's like, trust me, if you saw the way I looked this morning, you wouldn't be saying that. If you're gonna try and freak someone out by saying you've stalked them, this is not. You pick something that is actually like true, maybe. I don't know. And more shuffling internally, just is really not engaging with the question. Like this is just riffing for her.
I don't
Mentally,
even
she's doing a
have
bit.
hair.
It's
Yeah,
like there's like a
and
bit of a laugh. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like, okay,
mostly
but
thinking about the show.
yeah. And it's like, but serious question though. How do you pick your tracks for the evening? They always make me feel so calm on like a late night drive.
It's like, well, that's a lot about knowing the artists that make it. You hear some stuff being like put on a desk and things arranged. All the people that make the best exciting tracks that you hear at the club, that you dance to, that they sing to, they all also tend to every once in a while make just something chill and something fun, and that's how you figure out. That's how you find something like this. They don't play this at a club, but every artist wants to make it still. And anyways, thank you for the question. Next caller. There's a and a.
DJ Midnight, I've always wanted to know, how did you decide on your name?
Oh well, uh, I don't. I was always playing late at night, and it just kind of stuck because the day guys are kind of assholes.
Very dramatic response.
Oh, they love me. I know it. Anyways, that will be all of our morning question segment. And here I have for you the news in music, brought to you by, and scene fades as she rolls into a commercial for I think probably a major record brand, actually. Them trying to like sell the newest album from one of their guys, maybe even someone who was local here. I don't know, but I think that's the sort of end of the scene.
Cool. Were
So,
you able to figure out a true name for her?
I tell me this first, Joy. Harlequin Radio. She's kind of teasing and poking fun often at people. Kind of, and definitely poking at the local community, both for radio DJs and music. I don't know. Does that track?
I like it. Dan? I mean,
Works for me.
it's your decision in the end, so yeah.
The Harlequin Radio was the. Anyways, I'm gonna go with that. I think that's my turn.
All right, Dan, you're up.
All right. Sure. Dave, what did you say the compass was again? The words were?
Ravenous for success. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah. Ravenous for success. Just what happens when you grow too fast.
All right. Well, if we're talking about places to grow too fast, I think Main Street is the perfect place to go next. And Let's put a new landmark in a burgeoning business with great potential for growth. Let's see, this is like the 70s or 80s, right? Let's say it's like a phone company.
Yeah, okay.
You know, they can always grow.
Oh, is it happening again?
Uh-oh. Yeah, you
We're
froze.
probably gonna have to take another break unless this fixes itself pretty quick.
Let me quick send a text message if I can find it.
Well, I don't know if we're at break yet or not, so I'm just gonna chill on stream
Yeah, let's chill.
to this good music. Oh no, actually take us to break though.
Actually, take a break, please.
Hey, we got a Dan back.
Clearly, the universe is trying to keep me from being in this session.
And your successful phone business.
And I, for one, think that we should listen to the universe. But yeah. So, what was the last thing you guys heard?
Phone
company?
business.
All right. Yeah. So
No phony business now.
no funny business, no phony business. Just a phone business.
That's a tagline. I'm putting it on here somewhere.
Phone business, no E, which makes it a phone business.
Now that's the question. Is that the name of this business now? Is that
no? Well, so
phone
before I
business?
realized I'd froze, I actually gave the name of the company.
Okay, what was it?
It's going to be Bombast Telecommunications.
Bombast Telecommunications. All right.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Do they have like crazy 80s style commercials where it's like, man, they just promised the moon?
Of course, it's a phone company, and it's the 80s. But they set up shop in a unassuming like office building down in Main Street. Same as everything else, but you know, we could see where they go in 10, 20 years, 30, 40. You know, it's the fucking 70s. Like that was 50 years ago. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
So is this when you guys ask me questions, or are there other things I need to establish?
Oh, we just get to ask you questions throughout.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's the title, the address, and true name are the three things you have to define. But
Yeah, I mean, like you've got unassuming office building, but like where what the like is it just like is it like on the main bit of Main Street? Isn't it back alley? I'm curious, like
It's on the main bit.
main bit like I know you said office building is it taking several floors? Is it like one of those like smaller buildings with like 3 levels or like like bank like I'm curious.
So I figure like if there was anywhere in this Etteridge City at this point that's going to have like office space, it's going to be Main Street because that's like the business district, ain't it?
yeah.
So we'll say like maybe a floor of an office building down there because you know it's still early going, so it hasn't like taken off, but you can hire enough people to run a local phone provider.
Nice.
Which I assume is enough people to take up a floor of an office building.
Yeah. what's the feel of the office? You know, I'm really curious now that you've mentioned like, hey, this is a whole floor, right? Is it like, you know, like really cold air conditioning? Do they not have air conditioning at all to like save up on the bill? Like, how's that feeling?
So
Is it
the
like
feel that
frantic?
I would
I
want to
mean,
know
this.
is like corporate culture. Like, are
I mean,
they?
Yay!
this is pre like startup, we're a family type bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's still gonna feel like, you know, there's cubicles. There's like everyone wears a fucking beige shirt and khaki pants and a tie and shit. You know, it's gonna feel a bit corporate because that's the style of the time.
Feels like they're trying out corporate, like a poorly made suit, actually.
Yeah, well, because they want to act like they've been there before. You know,
Yeah.
they think they'll grow into it.
I put on the tag, the card, too big for their britches, because that's how I talk as a person.
Yeah.
Ironically, they're too small for their britches in this case, or their britches are too big for them. If we're using the ill-fitting suit metaphor still.
Yeah. I dig it. That'd be a different question as to people in it. But yeah, so true name?
Oh, I thought you were going to say that would be a different question. Is can you dig it?
Ah,
Sucker.
Can you?
but that's not
True
people.
name. I think it's definitely hungry for growth. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is this like, do you think that matches the style? Like neighborhood, the main street's kind of like, you know, your small local business alleyway community bit, right?
I'd say it's still like a small scale enough to
Mm-hmm.
not be like to not stand out terribly from the rest of the population of Main Street, but it is still like a bit more in the direction of like a larger business or like a corporation than what the city has seen or what the city is used to.
Mm.
But like it's not a but like it's a phone company, so it's not a. I mean, I guess apart from customer service, it's not a particularly like public facing
Mm-hmm.
business, not in the way that like a theater or a restaurant would be.
Yeah.
So like people are like it's easy enough for people to ignore despite
Yeah.
the departure from what the city
You
has
know,
been up till now.
maybe the first floor is like a jeweler's place, like something like that, or some other
Yeah.
stores. Something that still feels corporate, but is like you can walk in and it's pretty and you don't care what's on the floors above it. So what if it was hungry for growth and sort of local?
Like semi local.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost feels kind of like a chameleon.
Hmm.
Or like
Well,
a
you know,
or like a
you've
like something that's just waiting to like a seed that's just about to burst
mm,
open, you know?
true. Anyways, I think that makes
It's
it
not quite sprouted
your
yet.
turn. Makes it your turn, Michelle.
Oh, it is my turn. Wait, have we put down a true name for Bombast Telecommunications?
Yeah, it was
There
hungry
we
for
go.
growth, semi-local.
Gotcha.
It just popped up.
Fair enough. All right.
I just
I
hadn't hit
guess
enter.
I'll try a resident. I haven't exactly figured out a name yet. But go with yeah, we'll go with my with a previous thought that I had. If I can move this, please move, please move, please, please. I'd like to move. Yeah,
What are you
will
trying
you
to?
let me move you? No,
What's going on?
I'm trying to move the the thing that I just made. It refuses. Refuses. All right, cool. We'll just delete that. Don't mind me while I try and make a new rectangle that does not cover everything. It's all good. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to say that's a little small.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're
You have to drag a
absolutely.
whole square over the
I
entire
think
shape
you
you
can
want,
double click it to edit it,
Yeah. We'll
or
just
that.
yeah,
or
we'll just
get rid of it
do it again.
altogether.
Oh, okay. My
You know
mouse
what?
has a
Leave
foot.
those squares because they look artsy and cool. All right,
All right, fine. We'll. Oh, I was gonna undo, but that didn't apparently do anything. So we'll just leave that one. How about that?
perfect. A little
Yeah.
thought bubble. It's a
Yeah.
thought of a
Yeah.
person. We're inventing
So.
a person for us to be angry at.
We're like Twitter.
That's fair. Yeah.
Fuck you.
I don't know if I want to make if they are like a playwright or if they're like or like the theater owner.
Maybe they're a play wrong.
Maybe her play. Wow. All right, mes chers amis. What do they call her?
That was the hardest part. Is like, what's the name? What's the
Yeah.
name?
I know.
Just do what I do and name her after something, and then just change the letters around slightly.
Giving away all
Like,
your secrets on stream.
Yeah.
can't reveal all of your
Look,
secrets.
if you didn't know that all of my characters are named after wrestlers, then
I
you're
didn't
gonna learn
because
today.
until this moment, actually, because I don't know any wrestlers.
And that's why I do it, because I can get
Excellent.
away with it.
I have so many questions now about several characters. Anyways,
Maybe after stream.
You
yeah.
know, maybe we just call her Prima.
All right.
Like, not quite prima donna or primavera, but she's aiming for first.
Okay.
Always aiming for first.
Vera Prima, maybe?
Oh, what?
Vera Prima, maybe?
Vera Prima. Yeah, Vera Prima, maybe. Did I spell that
Including the
wrong?
maybe.
I do love that.
Vera Prima, maybe. I am. You know what? You know what?
That was an unserious suggestion.
Well,
That
we're
was a
putting
bit.
it in there. Because you know what? I think the thing is, for her, she is the kind of person who, she's a playwright. So we're gonna go with that is her job. She is a playwright, but she's also a part-time director of plays.
Okay.
And what she demands is perfection from her actors, from the stage hands. She always demands like she demands the best for themselves. So how do I put it? Your person so if she talks to an actor, she wants that actor to give their own personal best.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Uncompromising
Yeah.
and perfectionist for sure.
But
All right.
for the sake of the growth of her actors
Yeah.
more than
Sort of personal perfection.
yeah.
So it's like
More Ted Lasso than Gordon Ramsay.
It depends on how nice they are about it. Both of them want the people to perform at maximum capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe more like Led Tasso.
Tasso Ramsey. I don't know why I used their last name for both. Anyways, should be Ted Ramsey or Gordon Lasso, obviously.
Ted
Anyways,
Ramsay just sounds like a serial killer.
this is true. Out of curiosity, what kind of like genre of play does Vera Prima write?
You know, I think for her, she's the kind who sort of picks a genre, like throws a dartboard, throws a dart
She's
at
trying
it.
to change genres often.
Yeah, she
Okay.
always tries to change genre. She wants to be her best in every single genre. She wants to be
She
someone
also
who
needs to
can.
be unpredictable.
Yeah, it's like oh, I have to be I have to do something that'll surprise my audience. I have to be something that's going to give my uh, uh I don't know, like every play must be a magnum opus,
hmm
right? That kind of vibe. But like she will
hmm
never do the same genre twice. And if she does, it's got to be like some kind of mixed matched variation.
Okay.
I feel like the thought of doing something like West Side Story would give her hives because it's like it's the same thing.
It's
It's like this is
it's
a
been
rehash
done.
of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet,
Well, sure.
which it really isn't, but well, sort of, but like also not. Mm. But like that's the
I have a
vibe.
whole rant about that. Not important. Anyways.
But anyways, it is definitely like that is her vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
So, oh yeah, scene. What scene is
yeah,
this?
scene. I think we are. So if you've been in a theater,
hmm
sort of like that area right in front of where the pit orchestra would be if there was an actual space for a pit orchestra, where like
hmm
sort of like the director sits
hmm
in a fold out chair. She is dressed, there's not a single wrinkle in her very much like straight modest full length sleeve, glossy for its time, right? It is sheer, it is chic, like not a hair out of place as she is sitting crossed legged, doesn't even look at the book in her lap, which is
hmm
the score, as it were, for the ongoing rehearsal. As she and by the way, for the two of you, if you would not mind, like if like I guess freeform, go ahead and like if you want to just describe anything about like the setting or like the lights or like any of the other
Mm.
people who are in here, I'd love it. But like I think it's like dimly lit. There's like a spotlight shining on the middle of an actor doing a soliloquy.
Yeah. The actor's doing a soliloquy, and the stage has like a complicated rotation element where like the set is kind of in a circle around him, and he can like it can rotate the center left or right separate of the outside going left to right in like a big circle. Uh, and so his soliloquy is like central, the lighting and everything, but there's like a lot of set and like people scrambling around him as part of the show, and so it's very distracting and easy for him to get distracted. This actor, uh, yeah, I think that's one of the elements to it.
And I think as sort of one of the pit ninjas, as it were,
hmm
one of the folks like in the background scrambling to move props seamlessly while
mm
they're in the shade and not really viewable by the audience. You hear a loud stop. Focus on the soliloquy. The audience wants to look at you. The only thing the audience should care about is you. You and your sadness, your tragedy. You must give it more feeling. Put more feeling into your words.
The soliloquy guy is flustered and dizzy, and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna words. Can I take a minute?" And he's gonna like run off and be nauseous for a bit, and then give
It's
it
like,
another go.
yeah, just like, take 5, hydrate yourself, take a few deep breaths. I need you at your peak. performance. And she'll actually give him like a good like like a good 10-minute break while she then goes to berate the pit ninja that actually dropped a prop on the floor. It's like, your job is to be silent. It is a thankless job, but you need to not distract or detract from the actor. They are the star of the show. You need to be the quiet shadow that brings them the light. You need to make them shine more. Don't detract from them.
Yes, Miss Maybe.
Like and she like gives a very much a stern look to them. Right, well, don't trip. If you need some more time, just take a slow walk. You don't need to hurry so much.
It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. Actors, back on stage. You. And she points to soliloquy guy. I haven't given him a name.
Yeah.
Take a longer break. We're going to do one of the larger dancing scenes. So, choreographers, dancers to your places. And I think this is where we sort of yeah, like
Fade
as like
out while the dancers are dancing.
yeah. As for a true name, which I think is this is a little hard, but I think this is sort of she is
Okay, but Queen Bee?
Queen Bee. Oh yeah, I kind of really do like that, but I also think I do like the like uncompromising, like the uncompromising
True.
Queen.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
If she
Alright,
second guesses herself, that is her. Nobody else can second guess her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that makes it my turn to do the complication, right?
You get to host an
An
event.
event.
Or yeah, the event. Sorry, in my brain, that's how I've like thought of it. Is oh yes,
Fair enough. That is also
just
the
use the event. So I think this would be an interesting way to do this. It's a wave of scams. The new technology and the new business and the new money have brought scammers into the community to try and steal people's livelihoods out from under their nose. It's the golden age of scams, maybe, although that was in the 40s. But there's some crazy like Moneyball shit going on. I think it's interesting if I set that up and you guys decide who's gotten hit or what.
Mm.
All right. Well, I mean, if we're talking scams, there's a phone company that just opened up that may be unwittingly providing some of these scammers with the means to carry out their scams. So, like, maybe people have been people using Bombast phone line or phone network have been using like telemarketing or like sales scams to the residents of the different neighborhoods. Like I guess the bottom of the barrel and Parkside are the main like residential areas.
Okay. Michelle, what you got?
Yeah. Let's see. What's an opinion? Actually, I have a question for you.
And remember, it's a rhetorical question.
It is a rhetorical question.
All right.
Now I gotta think of a question because I do want to ask a question. Oh, you know what? Who are the people benefiting most from these scams?
It's an interesting question. So what do you think are the consequences of those things?
Are you asking Michelle, or can anyone answer?
Anyone, like combined together. This is just sort of an open question of altering the city.
I mean, I think it will erode ever so slightly at like the trust between members of the community. Like now, like people are going to be a little like people are going to be not as close as they once were, thanks to like phones becoming more common and now they're being used for nefarious purposes.
Mm.
Like caller ID hasn't come around yet, so there's no way to know who's calling you before you
I think
pick
this
up.
also doesn't help, like, if there are any tourists, which maybe there aren't any, but what few tourists there are might not be as interested in things like the main street because they're getting scammed, or maybe they don't feel safe to come by. Maybe it's the same thing with the other residential areas, where maybe some people have even started getting worried about their own livelihoods. There's like I think a pervasive air of worry.
Okay.
Worry,
Okay.
strain, especially on the smaller businesses.
Oh, come on. All right. So then the flip side that I need to completing the event.
Hey, maybe something good came out of this.
Yeah, I think is almost. I don't want to like invert what you just said, Michelle, but I think that this does like tragedy brings people together when they want to come together. Like people are confused and maybe distrust each other, but the people who like specifically lost have come together and started a sort of maybe local version of the Better Business Bureau, if that's the case. Like they're starting to think, yeah, well, maybe we should be a little careful about people who want to do business that are not like they're not here for our community, are not invested in it. Like that's the thing that they realize, I think. Financial community, Better Business Bureau is very funny to me. So I think that's what's going to be.
I like it. I like it.
You're gonna have to finish later. I'm gonna write this, but I think that's the end of that round.
All right. If you'd like me to type that in, I'll go ahead and
Yeah,
type
I got
in
it.
for you.
No, I'm writing
Oh,
it.
you
I'm
got it.
saying I'll finish this later. But yeah, that was the end of that round. So I don't know about you guys, but pretty chill with ending the stream here.
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right. Well, someone tell our wonderful stream manager. But before we get signed out, thank you everyone for watching with us. We just had sort of a chill time playing I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic for our game, The World Within You, the actual play of Void Heart Symphony. Again, we did not have our wonderful maestra legend. Yeah, sorry, Spree was talking to me, stream. Did not have Legendary Vermin. We did not have Leona the Maple. So we've just had a wonderful time spending here with you. You can find me on.
For a rare vermin.
Ultra rare vermin. You can find me at Tate the Terrific on Twitter, but really you should, and it'll always be Twitter, fight me, Elon. But really you should follow this channel's Twitter at Neon Lights Our Play, or our Blue Sky, which is Neon Lights Roleplay. I believe we got the whole thing.
I can double check that.
Not important. What's really important is you also come follow us on the Discord, because that's where we meme and have a good time, and also get people for games and talk about community events. So if you want to be a part of this, or just get sort of better look at all the humor that fuels these games, you should join us there. All right. How about Michelle? You go first on outros.
Sure. Unless Dan, you want to take the popcorn, but I guess I've been voluntold.
Yeah, tell everyone where they can find you. All your social
It's
media
a big long
accounts.
list.
It's a very long list, which is nothing. So I guess if you count infinity as 0, then yeah, sure.
Cats don't have social media. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
It's very
several
much a lie.
cats
There's
that
a
have
lot of
Twitter
cats on
accounts.
social
Okay,
media.
fair.
Yeah, the voice of the god has said so. It's true. There are a lot of cats
Okay.
on social media.
That is a fair point, but also this cat specifically does not have social media. So.
What are you in next? I'm just trying
Makes
to help
her
you lead.
well adjusted.
Oh yeah,
Very well
where
adjusted.
you can find me next is Bladesville next week for the Coalition of Steel, which will definitely be fine. Everything will be fine. Everything is fine. Sure, definitely.
Definitely no civilian casualties in that game. Mm-mm.
Yeah, sure. Passing it on to Dan.
That's me. Hello, I'm Land Dan. I didn't play anyone tonight, so I don't have to go to that whole spiel.
All right.
But you can find me on the flaming wreckage of Twitter at Land the Dan. And I do have Blue Sky. I haven't posted anything yet, but that's also Land the Dan. I think that's about it as far as social media goes. But you should follow the channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube. By the way, we have a YouTube. If you want to see the rest of this series, get caught up on that and all the other wonderful, lovely campaigns we've done. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Neon Lights Roleplay. I'm hoping someone's put the command for that in the chat. But yeah, and the Discord, because like these two said, we recruit players there. So if you want to join us, I know we've made such a strong case tonight for why you should want to be in a Neon Lights campaign, I'm sure. But you can do that by joining our Discord. Anyway, if you want to see more of me, I don't know why, but I'll be back in
Because you're a delight.
a couple weeks on Wednesday night for By His Shadowed Peace, our Warhammer flavored grim dark space mystery political thriller. And then there was talk about changing the scheduling to that to be more frequent, but I don't think we've finalized that yet. And then after that, at some point this month, I'll be in one of our many Halloween one-shots that we're doing for the month of October, hosted by the lovely Ostermad, called Jinkies, the Vampire Castle is Actually Haunted, which, as the name might suggest, is going to be entirely Scooby-Doo themed, and we're all going to be playing members of the Scooby Gang. Foxy will be there. I am pushing for him to play Shaggy. I'm also maybe pushing for him to play Fred, because I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I could see Foxy doing a pretty good Fred.
I really want Foxy as Fred now. Like it just occurred. Like the thought occurred to me like the day before the we were supposed to do it, and I was like, oh damn, like it's too late to lock that in now. But it got rescheduled, so there's still hope.
Yeah, you're still gonna see it. We're gonna campaign with him. He's gonna be Fred.
Yeah,
You heard it here. Anyways, I've had a great time with these guys. I'm so glad that y'all could come and watch us have this fun little time. And we will see you next month in The World Within You. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
And we haven't moved on to the story yet, so fuck up that clown.
Bye now. Bye bye bye. Bye bye now. Bye. Bye bye bye.
Vermin's night.